Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio. I am your host, Kelly Meehan, a citizen of the universe and a passage keeper and mentor for our new Earth children. I believe we are entering into a new psychic structure of our reality, and it is meant to embody deeper trust and ways into solid self-love and fearless integrity. Our new world energy of spirit babies needs us to consciously create within conception, trust pregnancy, and have freedom to birth and parent from innate wisdom. This is Spirit Baby Radio. Welcome to episode 194, August 2nd, 2024. Questions and insights from a Spirit Baby medium about Spirit Baby connections. Unbelievable. We are in August. As people say, the Lion's gates are open. It's Leo vibes. If you are in the Northern Hemisphere, it is summer. If you are not, you're probably in winter. Wherever you are joining, you are connecting, you are healing, you are living this life. You are on this journey. Aren't we all on a journey? And this has been my most turbulent, I have to say this with a laugh and smile. This has been my most turbulent year in all the years. And I don't even know how I'm surviving it, to be honest, right? We think about how we've evolved and where we've come from. And I think about who I even was years ago, 10 years ago, maybe a few years ago. I don't think I could handle what I'm going through right now the way I am. And of course, there's many different parts to that, right? Like how we find our wholeness, our own frequency, our own divine force to stay grounded. And it's more than just my thoughts and words, right? My words and thoughts have power, but it's really the essence, the frequency of me that sustains and sees this pure world of energy, that sees within multidimensional truths, really. And so it definitely has been the year of grief and loss for me. It's letting go of so many things of my childhood, my existence, my parents, my life, and what the next step looks like as I'm moving. Even there's loss in moving, right? And so there's grief, and yeah, it's interesting. I'm just saying this with a smile because I've come so far on this journey, and it has held me the best that I know how to be held. And of course, I'm going to plug in there a little bit of light therapy. I want to talk more about light therapy. I do have past episodes, and I'm doing this specific stem cell activation patch technology, and it has transformed my life. It has made me calm, present, energized in ways of less inflammation, hormone balance, and my body does it. That's the best part. And you can always check out on newearthchildren.com. I have a whole section on light therapy and a group here or there. Come join the group. newearthchildren.com, as I said. The journey, the life journey. And this episode, of course, I'm going to talk about questions and insights, right? I got a lot of good, interesting feedback, and I have them here, and I'm kind of, more personal, and some maybe less personal, but they're very good questions. And I'd love to do, if you are interested, you can email me at spiritbabymedium@gmail.com or gmail.com, yes, where you want to come talk on my podcast. I think this could be fun to not just always have the experts and the Bruce Liptons on, but let's get conversations with real life connections of people in your own specific power and your own experience with Spirit Baby. We all have different experiences, and so valuable they are. And so the questions, there's a lot of questions coming in lately, and this is so fitting because I just had a session this week on what I call a solo conception. And a solo conception to me is a creative conception journey because you are wanting to conceive without a partner. And not that wanting to conceive is a thing, because a lot of women that come into my space, they don't want to be partnerless, but they're getting older, they're knowing what they want in their life, and they're feeling like, where is my partnership to raise and have a baby? And so many of women I've seen throughout the years have come on a solo creative conception. Sometimes they find their love in pregnancy. That has happened. Sometimes it's after. And sometimes there's more energy in between where you're still waiting, but yet your baby being is here. And spirit baby beings will come into all kinds of connections and relationships. And the biggest obstacle in that is the culture, the society, and what you're allowed to do and not to do. But aren't we just tired of that these days? Like, fuck the culture and the society that tells you you can't be or do who you want to be, right? Oh boy, did we see that? And is things going to get more chaotic and intense? Yes. But can you find your nervous system regulation? Can you feel your ground? Do you know your heart? That's all that matters. I always say, stay the course, stay the mission. You are here for a reason. You are not just mother, wife, friend. You are soul, you are embodiment, you are a creative force, right? The feminine force, we can say. You may be someone on a solo conception journey. And why I talk about that is because this who came in the session, but also the question that came through here. And I'm going to read that out loud. Well, she says these questions might seem silly, but definitely curious. Do spirit babies interact with our spirits or entities? How and why? How can you tell a spirit baby from another spirit? Why do spirit babies come and go for periods of time? What might they be doing in their absence? How might spirit babies get your attention if you haven't meditated for a while? What are signs your spirit babies initiating communication with you? And they're making a comment. I agree with other comments about spirit babies and parents, but maybe my soulmate or sperm donor, talking about solo conception, right? So to bring back these questions, so we'll start with the first one. Do spirit babies interact with other spirits or entities? How and why? Of course they do. um, it's really hard for our logical mind to keep over rationalizing and forcing ourselves into a certain thought process. And energy, spirit energy, multidimensional energy speaks in its own space. And you can hear it, you can sense it, you could know it. Really depends on you as an individual. And so we tend to, even in these questions, I can see we're filtering it through an earth based mind. And I always feel like we're not fully earth based, but most people they would say are hybridized. So we're not fully, I call caveman earth people. We have so many different other connections, right? We have starseed, angelic, other elemental light forces that make parts of who we are. And so spirit babies do interact with siblings, whether on this side or the earth side, with passed on family members, mothers, fathers, grandparents, great grandparents, friends. There's an interaction that always happens. And there's a level of trust in that. You either know it or you don't know it. This really comes down to that. And I know it because I've seen it. I've seen grandparents and children and babies all interacting with each other. And they're telling me this of people I don't even know. So there's something there. The next question, how can you tell a spirit baby from another spirit? So that's this discernment of your own energy of connection. Sometimes you may not know the difference. And I think it's the finely tuning in your telepathic, psychic, clairsentient, whatever your connection is, your awareness, really. When you are in practice with many different spirit energies, you begin to know the difference. And so I know when children come to me, they come to me through feeling sense, but through vision. And so that's my clairsentience and clairvoyance, as this world would call it. And I use that and I have allowed it to make sense. How about that? And so you can too. Why do spirit babies come and go for periods of time? What might they be doing in their absence? Amazing question, really. The mind has to know the answers. You may not have a full understanding of that answer because babies, do they really come and go? Or are they just here all the time? It depends on the person, depends on who you are. And are babies living in other realities and different timelines of connection and thriving? And what are they doing in their absence? Your absence, I would say. It's not the absence of them because they're free flowing and alive. And so I feel like could be a very complicated question, a very excellent question, but again, I think it would be to sit in the self's own soul connection of what does it even mean? Are they absent or are you absent from the connection of who they are? And some would even say, spirit babies have their own reality, their own connection. They're not just sitting around waiting. Such an ego earth construct. We put a lot of constructs on what we believe and feel and think more than anything, what we think about spirit energy. And spirit energy does not care about time. It doesn't exist. It doesn't care about ego. There's no reason those things do not exist. Imagine for a moment if you lived in a place that had no existence of fear, had no existence of ego, had no existence of thought. It's a very hard concept. It's almost like saying, let's say there's no something that in the world doesn't exist. How would you even know? Let's say milk didn't exist, then you would not have any connection to it. It doesn't exist. It's not here. Maybe that's not the best example, but it's just things exist and do not exist, right? And that's the thing we don't understand fully. How might spirit babies get your attention if you haven't meditated for a while? Oh, I feel like we have a lot of different answers for that one. Sometimes babies can leave signs around you, physical earth signs through electricity, through things you see, through people, even. People can say things, songs. What other things are ways babies can be in communication, get your attention through dream space, through daydreaming? Sometimes you're just hypnotic driving and baby pops in your head. That's not you trying to call baby in or conjure something up. It's baby saying, hello, I'm here. And then what you do next is the most important. Are you somebody that's like, okay, whatever, I need more proof? Then that's a very interesting energy to be in. You will miss everything if you're that person. And I promise you that, because when we set our tone to be in the world of energy and see that there's more than just here, then that's the life you get to be a part of. And I want that for everybody, to see the way the world is of energy. And it doesn't mean that life is going to be free from fear or chaos. It does mean you will have a huge level of ease. And I can almost say free from anxiety and depression, even, because energy is energy. Energy is changing, restructuring, recreating, and your wholeness in that is a part of it. And so, what signs your spirit babies initiate and communicate with you? Signs? Oh, there's so many. Like, talk to all the moms. Come to the Facebook page, Spirit Babies. Gosh, I don't know the title of it. That's not good. It's in the show notes. Come and connect with others that taught this conversation. It's not just me. It's like, I want to say it goes into the thousands and thousands of connections in conception, pregnancy, and birth loss of spirit baby communication. There's so many different signs, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's unbelievable, all the signs I've seen. Oh my gosh, and heard and held space with. Is like there's so much. There's so much. And it's really awesome. Let's see. I agree with other comments. How do you find spirit baby parents? Oh, that's the one, right? Like, you know, how do we find the parents? What does that look like? Well, one of the things I tell solo conception journeying women is put out your beacon of light in your heart, call your partner in. You call the energy of what you want to manifest and connect with in your world, in your reality, and you let your child help you lead yourself in that space. Your child can also call in the parent they want. Why would they not? Of course. And talk about complete trust and faith in the receiving of it. There's so much more to say about that, but I do feel like it's very individual too. Even, okay, it's mentioned sperm donor. What is that about? The same thing. Ask baby to get the sperm donor. Why are you doing everything? Again, you're having to put faith and trust into something that you may not fully understand at times, that you're not sure where it's going or how that connection is. But energy is energy. Nothing in the world of energy needs to have logical explanation to it, even though I know this is what we want so badly, right? But there's such a lack to it. I feel like it's missing the truth of being in this spaces of energy all the time and being in witness with it, and even at times not being in witness with it, letting nature connect in its own energetic force. So another question that came in, actively trying to conceive, but I'm actively asking my spirit baby to help find her dad. Oh, there we go. Another dad question. We'll come back to that. Anyone else come across this? Any insights? So as I was saying earlier, answering some of that question, I feel like that could be a whole course, maybe a 1-day workshop. Somebody wants this, or maybe more than one of you wants this. It's like, let's see if that looks like that wants to be available at some point. Because there's a lot to sit with the energy, to hear the deeper conversation, and to build your heart field, your heart force, to then receive partnership, to receive your child all together. That's a massive journey, and you deserve it, and you're allowed to be in connection with it. I'd love to know more on reincarnation of spirits. Is it possible to feel a spirit baby, but the person who may reincarnate to not have crossed into the spirit world yet, say with cases of dementia? Interesting. Gosh, that could be a really long conversation. I don't know if that has a solid answer. I'm going to be honest, because I don't know if people are ready for the multidimensional connections that we can live in many realities and places at once. And so reincarnation is real. There's so much validation around it, even in we think about documentaries and series where they literally went back to the old families, and children especially knew the names of their relatives, their families, where they slept. Like there's no logic to it. Of course, there's a reincarnation, and it doesn't matter what spiritual different religions and doctrinations say no. It's just fear. I mean, we're so much more than our fear, right? And so I could imagine that a spirit baby can be crossing over and be a part of someone else. Why not? And a case to case individual basis, right? But dementia is rampant, by the way. It's a lot. A lot of people are going through this, and there's of course toxicities, environmental histories and stories, but I feel like this energy is really not wanting to be a part of the world. Really being demented, separating energies, and it's not conscious. It's a very deep story, and it's very painful for the families that have to witness it. And yet the soul and the body have to work together in collaboration with this journey. And so I'm just going to leave that. I almost feel like maybe doesn't have a solid answer. And I think it's an excellent question to sit within the heart space to see what is this? What more wants to come from this? And if it's so meaningful for you, like what is it that is bringing in levels of curiosity around it? Because sometimes we do have family members that are not well, and that we think that maybe if they die or they're partially in and out of their soul body, just because you have dementia doesn't mean you're in and out of your soul body. It can be, feels like it, right? But some are fully still in their bodies, maybe a little bit coming out, gonna transition soon. But there's no preciseness of it. Like this is this tag and this is what this means. It's so individual, right? Another part here, let's see the next question. I've had pretty long communication lines with my spirit baby since the beginning of trying to conceive and stay pregnant, 3 years now, after 3 miscarriages and 2 lost embryos, unsuccessful IVF. I've decided to take a break on all things fertility. I feel like I've reached an ending point in this journey. However, it's unknown to me if this ending point is more of an end to putting forth all the masculine energy of effort, or an end to having a baby. Is in this break, will this mean my spirit baby will stop communicating? First of all, so much love to this question. What a very challenging, hard journey of life. Having to be literally pregnant for 3 years on and off, right? It's multiple miscarriages, very intense for the emotion, the physical body, and the spirit body. And with the lost embryos on top of that, it's very much a mind fuck. It's confusing. And you're sharing here, taking a break. Is it that it sounds like you're saying that putting the force of the masculine effort, it's like, is that pushing, forcing, right? The conception, feeling like it's robotic or it's a synthetic somehow. That's what I'm getting from that quote of this part of the question. And doesn't mean it's a surrender into receiving some other part of who you are or receiving your child in a different way, possibly. And in this break, or as you call a break, or we can call a pause to really sit and anchor into your own heart space and find where the next step is for you. Babies don't stop communicating unless you want them to. See, here's the thing. Babies are in communication even when people don't realize it, is what I've noticed. So we're not always attentive or we don't always need to be. And so in the need of your pause, I would say to do what you need to do for your heart. If you were to take a pause and you wanted to look at and not even turn your head to anything away with spirit babies, that's okay. It doesn't mean baby's like, oh, you don't like me and I'm not going to come around. And what are we doing here? It really is up to you. You have choices. Sometimes we have to separate ourselves fully and grieve and restructure and rebirth something new. I would even say to look at the journey of the rebirth that wants to come through you and be loving and forgiving of yourself to not feel like, well, baby, stop communicating. Two more questions here. Again, excellent questions from the Facebook group. Really appreciate it. Do spirit babies that have been in communication still stay in touch, communicate after incarnating to a different family? Can this relationship with the spirit babies evolve even when conception begins? Improbable. I'm not sure what that means. Improbable? So babies can be in communication after incarnating. It actually depends on the individuals because most people don't want to hear energy like that, or your mind isn't available for it. So remember, if you live and you believe the trees, the desk before you is the only thing that exists, you're not going to see anything else. You're just not. And many of those that can see other things beyond that space understand a different level of this world. And so, of course, babies can be in touch, even incarnating to different families, psychically, soulfully. It's a really excellent question, by the way. Not something you think about. I love all these questions coming in because you're giving me, let's push the barriers. Let's challenge the thought space. Let's move into that spiritual expanded connection. And so I want to hear your experience actually. What have I feel like you must have had an experience. This is such a deeper answer to this, and it's unfortunate we don't know. So let me see the second part of that question. So a relationship, I think what you're saying, can the relationship with spirit evolve even when the conception, maybe you don't even know it's happening? You can definitely be in communication with spirit children, and you're not sure if they're coming or not. Definitely a lot of people do that, especially with loss. There are some children that will not come back to earth, that they've fulfilled whatever their mission is, they fulfilled their energy connection, their purpose, right? And you can keep being in communication and connection, and that's up to you. Babies aren't going to force people. They're not going to force you. So the next final question is, do spirit babies from miscarriages stay with the spirit of a child that passed away, and will they both be there when I go to heaven? There's a lot of different interpretations, right? Different stories, I should say. So some would say that in miscarriage, that the spirit of that child can come back. I hope I'm answering this right. I'm trying to read this question again. because he says, do spirit baby stay with the spirit of the child that passed away? So I'm thinking how that's being, maybe I want to interpret this question properly. Maybe I should have gotten more insight on it. So when the child passes through miscarriage, will their spirit come back, or will their spirit stay with their spirit? I'm not reading that right. And will they both be there when I go to heaven? Both be there. So if a child is coming through miscarriage, let's say there's multiple miscarriage and it's one soul, then there's going to be one soul waiting for you. Even though your perception in this world is that that's different babies. Not every baby is different. And there's so much evidence on this as well, like reincarnation, but it's not the same for everybody. So for you, maybe there are different energetic souls of spirit children that are waiting for you. And if they're not coming into this reality, or they've reincarnated in different ways, you will have a remembrance of with them. They will remind you when you go to heaven, as you shared here. They will say, look, I'm here, I'm your babies. And you're going to get a piece of that, even if their energy has evolved and done something else. It's a way of accepting you and connecting with you. And so, yeah, just open your heart and receive that connection and know that there's something more happening, and you'll have to wait and see. And so these different, really, again, I hope I'm answering some of these questions more deeply. And if I didn't answer your question right, please like yell at me or something. Come email me at spiritbabymedium@gmail.com and go, Kelly, I don't think you clarified that so clearly. And maybe you want to come on to the podcast, not to freak you out, or maybe you're open to it. Let's have a conversation, because your energy upon the new earth, your new earth child, is very valuable. It's not just, again, about getting all these experts and medical doctors and professionals. We want people. We want people that you all have different starlight missions and bright heart light energies to come have conversations where we can weave together really cool spirit baby communication goodness. And I'm always open to have questions coming through email, or just questions in general, or coming live. Get yourself here on Spirit Baby Radio podcast, and maybe you have some magic or some idea or thought or something complex. Like let's bring it to the space and dissect it, and kind of let's tune into it together. Actually, I find my best work is tuning in the moment. And of course, I'm picking up energy based on all these questions on the people, because that's how that world works. I don't control it. And so, wherever you are on your spirit baby communication connections and journeys, stay the course. That's going to be my new motto in this reality: stay the course. And even as I say that, I should read this poem. I don't know if it's a poem or if it's just someone said, these are your downloaded words, Kelly. Yes, I actually only sent them to a few friends. It felt like somebody else wrote it. And I'm sure many of you may feel that way. But you ever written anything and you felt like, did I even write this? Oh, okay. Maybe some part of me wrote it, but I don't know. And so before I read that to you, though, I should say this is a celebration. My book is done. It's going through formatting right now. Yes, I have a book. I already put a little flash on Instagram at Spirit Baby Medium, but I didn't do a whole post on it yet. And so, all new to me. And so my book is called Notes from a Spirit Baby Medium: Everything You Need to Know About Spirit Baby Communication. And again, it's being formatted for pre-order in the next, hopefully, 2 weeks. Oh gosh, yes, hopefully in the next 2 weeks. And I want to have a celebration, of course, a giveaway, and really get your energy connected to your deep spirit baby relationship in conception, pregnancy, and birth loss. I have a little bit about everything in there. I have stories and testimonials, and I even have a page of resources and books about other spirit baby communicators. Let them have some good energy. And I talk about everything from pregnancy to miscarriage to IVF and fertility. And I talk about birthing in the new world energy. I could be a little controversial, but I'm pushing. I'm pushing. I'm pushing for your best intuitive connection for your new earth child. I talk about what a new earth child is and what that's all about. And then the final chapter of your newborn telepathy experience, becoming the parent you want to become and evolve into. And here's the bonus. I think there's going to be 6 or 7, I'm not sure yet, meditations specifically with QR codes and websites for you with original music to listen. I am going to guide you. You get with this book all these meditations, and you are going to become a spirit baby master expert. And your heart is going to be excited, and your new earth child and your relationship is going to be built. So you will be seeing that soon at newearthchildren.com. Please stay connected to Spirit Baby Radio to stay on my newsletter. And in my newsletter, you do get a Spirit Baby 101 intro. And when you sign up, and you will stay the first to be informed on the book. So, ready? Now, I want you to find a space, like just relax for a moment, align your spine, keeping your limbs soft, maybe even closing your eyes as long as you're not driving, you're in your own quiet space. We're going to work in the tones of frequency right now. You're getting a little bit more. As I said, the Spirit Baby Radio is not just boring lectures. It is energy. It is frequency for you, wherever you are. And here are the words that came through me yesterday. Do you know you have a specific mission? Are you staying the course? Are you allowing inward quiet spaces of receiving? It is not your career or character you play. You invented yourself. It's you. The drama will pull you into it. Stop. Say no. I do not. Knowing your light and not getting trapped or hypnotized by what is perceived around you in this way. Nobody is lost, but everybody is lost. Emotions are meant to be fleeing. Physical issues aren't real. We made it all up. Be unattached. The path is safe. Freedom is your birthright. True love without conditions is everything. Remember who you are. Stay grounded in the self that matters most. When you welcome your wholeness, the bright ways give to you. The universal heart has always been you. You are all of life, and you are none of it. Remember, time doesn't exist, neither does history. Where will your true heart lead you? It's not outside of you. Another reminder, you are calling in others. They are with you. Nobody can make you let go into your mission. Stay the course. It's your time now. So that was I call them energy rants. It was my just pure moment in my own space of connection and stay the course and be in the mission of you, be in the light of you. And so I leave you with that wherever you are on this challenging, exciting, rigorous, adventurous journey of life, whether you are in conception, pregnancy, healing through loss, or just healing your health and wanting to expand into your spiritual psychic self. I send you with much gratitude and much healing and wellness. Until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for joining episode 194, Questions and Insights from a Spirit Baby Medium about Spirit Baby Connections. Thank you for joining Spirit Baby Radio with your host, me, Kelly Meehan. Please join my community and stay in touch with monthly energy rants, Spirit Baby poetry, and get access to Spirit Baby 101 with tips and practices at my newsletter at newearthchildren.com. And join me on Instagram with lives at Spirit Baby Medium, and join the Mighty Networks, the Spirit Baby Collective membership, and Motherhood to Mediumship. Remember, you are the heart that holds communication, and it is your time to connect. Come share in the great shift of your mind and the true spirit of your heart with Spirit Baby Communication.